Hello and welcome to Europhoria, a podcast where we look... What do?
We look back.
We look back on the great glam and garish of Eurovision history. My name is Isobel Chilman and I'm joined as ever by a boy who's just so magical, so wonderful. You know, sometimes I say to myself, maybe he's born with it. Or maybe it's quarantine. It's Roland Bottom.
That's a good one. Hi, everyone. Hi, Isabel. How you doing?
I just had a complete mind blank about what the podcast was. We say that phrase every week.
Every week, yeah. To be fair, we are looking kind of into an alternate universe the last 2 weeks. So we're almost looking like, I don't know, what, sideways through a porthole at the potential outwards.
Maybe we should have changed the opener. This is a podcast where we look into another dimension of Eurovision.
Where quarantine never happened.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate? All right. Have you recovered from our bumper? It was actually 2 hours of recording, but an hour and 40-minute episode last week.
Yeah, it was loads of fun. I had a great time.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great. It was good fun. And we're going to do another one this week, which is...
We had a nice review from our mate Stephen Cass, Eurovision bookie.
Yeah.
Just 3 words. Pod is terrific. Thanks, Stephen.
That's all you need. Short, sweet, simple, done. A simple review, but very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to last week's, and we are going to do it again. And also in this week's episode, we're going to reveal who we think is going to win, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Of both semi-finals, we're going to get a winner
and remember,
from there.
You can't prove us wrong.
No, so we are
correct.
Correct.
We are correct with anything we say.
Are you drinking anything, mate? Have you got anything lined up for to get you through?
Yes, look at this fancy. It's a well, I was going to say it's a 1 portion, but it's not because it's massive.
Yeah.
But it's you know, like the cans of G&T, which are delicious, and I am in no way snobby. I drink them literally daily. So I love them to pieces. But this sits alongside them in the fridges. Wow. But it's not a can. It's a bottle, and it's massive, but not a proper massive one, of pre-mixed Tanqueray gin and tonic.
Oh, it's like, is it a pint? It kind of looks like a pint of gin and tonic.
It does. It's 275 millilitres. What's that?
Who knows what that is?
I don't know.
Let's say so.
It's a pint of gin.
I am drinking a lovely, because the weather is quite nice today, I'm drinking a lovely rosé from Long Island, America, New York. So I think it'll be quite nice. It looks nice. So I'm going to try it. It's a. We're both going to crack because we both got twist offs. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it now. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Let's synchronize. Ooh. I might split that into 2 different ears on the actual, if I've got time, and see what happens. Well, that sounds lovely.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, chin chin. Anyway, because last week's episode was such a bumper episode, we're going to go straight in this week, aren't we, Isabel? And we're going to go, as we did last week, entry by entry in the order that they are in semi-final 2, plus 3 of the big 5 plus 1, and we're saving them till the end.
Yes.
One thing to point out is that this semi-final features 1 more entry than the first semi-final, making it that much harder to qualify if you were placed in the second semi.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh. Learn something new every day, don't you?
Apparently it wasn't that hard for Isabel to cut that extra 1 off.
No, oh my God, it was not. It was not. I actually had to go through and re-choose 1 to put through into my top 10.
Put back in. If you had it your way, you would have put 9 through because...
I'd have put in less than 9. I'd have cut most of them.
Oh my God. Do you think this semi was more about quality than quantity? So there were some very, very good ones. Or do you think last semi-final was just very, very good all round?
I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed this semi-final as a group less than I enjoyed the first semi-final group. I feel that way. I think in my head, but I don't trust my own thoughts sometimes. So,
okay, well, this will be interesting to see. All right, then, Isabel, let's kick off. And the first act on semi-final 2 night is Austria with the singer Vincent Bueno and the song Alive. Now, Vincent himself isn't that interesting. He's...
What an opening line for someone.
Well, he's kind of interesting. He's an Austrian-Filipino singer. He's based in apparently both Austria and the Philippines. He can speak German, English, and conversational Tagalog, which is a language spoken by a quarter of all Filipinos. By age 11, he could play 4 instruments, which were piano, drums, guitar, and bass guitar, which I...
Pretentious. No, precocious. I got the wrong word.
Precocious, yeah. Well, maybe he's pretentious as well. And later, he graduated in music and performing arts at the Vienna Conservatory of Music. Now, before I listened to this, everything about Vincent was making me think that this would be kind of just like a nice, like, power ballady, stringy number. But I was pleasantly surprised. So should we take a quick listen, as he's the first on? Should we take a quick listen to Vincent Bueno's Alive?
Sure.
I give you fire shots. Everybody sing, come on. Up, oh, up, oh, up, oh. You make me feel alive. It's overthrown.
Isabel, if a man has a funky bass line and can dance, then I am fully on board. And Hunky Vincent definitely has both, so that's all I need. Isabel, what are your thoughts on first on the night, Vincent Bueno with the song Alive?
Fun song to kick off the evening with. And lovely to see some Filipino representation at the contest. Not very often does that happen.
No?
I don't know about the song. It's all right. It's fun. It's not up there with the other sexy boys who can dance and sing that have come in contests past. And at the video, he looks a bit bored by his own performance. He's not very engaging. I think that's because he's cool. No.
He's cool.
But then that's cool's rubbish. Cool. Being cool's rubbish. Yeah, he's too cool if that's the case. Because he doesn't look very enthused by himself. Whereas if you watch a Mans or a Robin Bankston, as I'm sure are the ones that you're thinking of right now and daily,
all the time,
Vincent, like, they have fun. They're having fun. They're emotional when they're performing in whatever sense that is. Whereas Vincent's just a bit dead behind the eyes, which I found quite boring. The shuka shukaka bit.
Ooh, love that line.
Of course.
If that could be required to be in every Eurovision song, just shika shika shika.
There's quite a lot of fun noises or bits that you can make along with in semi-final 2, actually. There's a few things that I've pulled out that it's just bits where they clearly want people in the audience to do it. Shaka shaka.
I think I agree with you about the song. It's like, it's good. It's not mind-blowing. I think it's interesting because he's clearly a very good dancer. And actually, like, it's quite tricky to get both. You know, he's a good singer, a good dancer. And it means that
Hello. Right here. It's difficult to get both. Sure. I'm great at singing and dancing, mate.
But you are very unique, Isabel, in that, you know? You are.
I'm a quadruple threat. I just don't know what the other two are yet.
Still working it out.
Yeah.
But I think that he might put on a good show, you know, a Justin Timberlake-esque, dancey, singy number. So I think he'll do quite well on the night itself. I think he will qualify.
I think he'll qualify, but I don't think he'd do that well.
Interesting. Well, he is returning in 2021.
Hopefully he'll have learned how to smile by then. Crack a smile for us, toots. Come on, Vincent.
I've put him finishing in 9th place, mate.
No, lower.
You know me. You know that I'm always going to get lured in like a sailor to mermaid when it comes to those fancy dancing men.
Fancy men. No, lower than that. He'd get through. But no, I don't think. maybe 15th, 16th.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. I think I will always give like a handicap of +5 to any kind of
Thought you were going to say
pop.
something else then.
No. No, like a golf handicap to anyone who...
You'd give a handy to anyone
handy.
like that. Of course you would, yeah.
Sure, why not? Okay, let's move on. And we are moving to number 2 of the night, which is the Czech Republic and Benny Christo with the song Ke Mama. Now, Benny, on the other hand, has quite the resume. And before he started singing, Benny was a competitive athlete taking part in both tennis and snowboarding professionally.
That's cool.
Those
two things combined is cool. Yeah, so Vincent, take note, okay? Just not smiling is not cool.
Isn't cool.
Okay.
sure.
Snowboarding and playing tennis is cool.
Yeah, in 2006, he placed first in the Czech Cup Series 4x4 for snowboarding. And even after he launched his music career, he took up jiu-jitsu and has been competing in the martial art globally ever since. In 2016, he participated in the Asian Championship and placed third in the medium heavy white belt category. So clearly he's up for competition, and if it kicks off in the green room, I know who I would be running to. He's also an animal rights activist and lends his skills to multiple causes, including animal welfare, internet safety campaigns, and plastic bottle recycling schemes. Where does he find the time?
Actually, it's a bit annoying now. Do gooder. Do gooder.
He's doing good, though.
Have a break, mate. Chill out for a bit. Vincent can show you how to calm down.
Let's listen to Benny Christo's Ke Mama.
Ke Mama, you know, in this concrete jungle it was not easy to grow up. Nah. But every time they push me down, I answer with this smile and I got up, yeah. Whoa. Like you told me, I'ma put my heart on the stove. Let y'all feel the heat. You be playing with the fire if you dance with me. I wasn't always like that. I wasn't born like that. I just work like that 24/7. Ke Mama, you know. They can see what they want.
All right, that was Benny Christo with the song Ke Mama. Isabel, give me your thoughts.
So, the Czech Republic have a very scattered history in the contest, right? So they failed to make it through to the final 5 out of the 8 times they've competed. And because they withdrew from the contest between 2010 and 2015 as well. Then the last couple of years, they've upped their game. So in 2018, they had Mikolas Joseph with Lie to Me, which was their highest entry to date in 6th place. Personally, I found the song unbearable, as you all know. Then the next year, so last year, they had the unblinkable Lake Malawi with Friend of a Friend of a Friend, which was a bop and a half.
Yeah, we loved that one, didn't we?
Loved it. Slightly odd. Whatever. But it was a great song. It was great fun. We did enjoy it very much. This year, again, they have kept up with the quality of song that they're putting forward. It's really exciting to see a country really transform the entries that they're putting forward and keep that standard up. Like, whatever I think about Mikolas and Lie to Me, that song deserved to do well at Eurovision. Like, I understand why it did well at Eurovision. So, like, I'm really impressed with this year's entry, and they've gone somewhere a bit different for them as well, which is really interesting. However, I don't think this would get through the semi-finals.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't think it's Eurovision enough for the audience. I think, like, you know, we talked last episode about the fact that this year has seen a much broader range in diversity from the entries that have been put forward, which is fantastic. However, you cannot erase a whole history of people being used to listening to white pop, white ballads, white indie rock occasionally, and it'll do badly. You know, that can't be removed from the audience's minds. And I think this, however much of a fun song it is, and I'm into it, this went straight on my Eurovision playlist.
Yeah.
I don't think it would get through the semis. I think people are innately racist. Let's just say it.
Okay.
But but that's what it is. It's not, that's what it is. I'm not saying that people are being racist. They are not going to vote because it's a black person. Of course, some people would do that. But I think it's just an inbuilt feeling of this is not Eurovision enough. It is not pop enough. It's not camp enough.
This isn't my type of music.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't what I am used to at Eurovision. And so I'm not going to vote for it.
Just judging the song personally, as you did to start, I really, really love this song. I think it's really fun. It's really current again, which obviously we love. It sounds like a Chance the Rapper song. In fact, there is a song that Chance the Rapper did that it sounds quite like. But also, I think it's like there are certain songs every year that sound like they are the song that's going to kick off the summer. And Eurovision is perfectly placed for those songs because it is early May. A lot of the countries are just, beginning to get the early signs of summer as the UK has been. And you get one of these songs that I think does just kind of go to people's hearts. It sounds like you're on holiday in like Ibiza or somewhere like that. It sounds lovely. And I maybe I have more faith or naivety in people, and I think that people will really love this song. And I have initially, so when I was writing this morning, and I initially put this song.
Oh, are you going to backtrack?
No, well, I initially put this song in 6th place
Of the finals. Wild.
And then I took a shower because I wanted to look nice and clean on the webcam. And I put the song on my Bluetooth speaker in the shower and listened to it on loop and loved it even more. So it is now entering to the top 5 of the final.
Wow. We are going to have very different top 5.
Well, we did, because we did this exact same thing in the last episode, I think on the second song, where I put The Roop in the top 5 and you didn't even get them through.
Not getting through the semis.
Well, for anyone keeping track, I am now demoting Lithuania's The Roop down to 6th place. And I am putting Benny Cristo with Kemama in the top 5. And I'm still kind of working out where they're going to land, but I've got an idea. I'll see where they land at the end.
Oh, I don't have I've got a list of 7 that I am still, and I will be right until the point where you say, what is your top 5? I will be rejigging them in order.
I know.
And I think that some of them, actually, to say, I'm quite glad that you have very different top 5 to me, because some of mine, I think you're going to go, are you mad? Are you mad, Isabel? Because that's why I can't decide on it, because I can't decide whether I am mad for putting them in my top 5.
Well, do you go with your head or your heart, right?
Exactly.
It's like,
am I putting the songs I like at the top, or am I choosing the ones I think will do well?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's move on. We're moving to song number 3. It's Estonia, the act Juku Seviste with the song What Love Is. So we've got another high achiever here. Juku studied singing and contemporary writing at Berklee College of Music in Massachusetts, where he made the Dean's List every semester. He became a patron of UNICEF Estonia, and he also made it to the semi-final of The Voice Russia, where he was mentored by Eurovision icon Annie Lorak. Juku also had a stint playing Danny in the Estonian production of Grease. He's a big fan of playing tennis, going to the gym, and running, which sounds like 3 of the most boring things you can find on a guy's profile on Tinder.
Oh my god!
And he was previously named by Krunika magazine as Estonia's sexiest man. So he's got a lot going for him. Maybe except the song. Isabel, what do you think of Juku Seviste's What Love Is?
Well, the fact that you've told me that backstory about him being Estonia's sexiest man makes a lot of sense, because what I wrote was that Estonia have forgotten the age-old motto, a handsome man does not a winning Eurovision entry make. Thank you. Okay.
Absolutely.
You can't just stick some fitty up there and think you're going to do well, because we see through it. We might be a thirsty audience, but we ain't that thirsty, all right? We can get it in other places. So you can't, that's not going to work. I didn't understand the video. the cobwebs on the microphone confused me for a very long
Strange.
time. I couldn't work out if it was like a ghost or if I was seeing things to start off with. I thought my eyesight had gone weird. Also, he has a goatee. No, get rid of that. Have stubble, be clean shaven, or have a full beard. Goatees are always a no-no.
It's a lesson that I think France will be heeding as well later on in this episode.
You just wait. You just wait till we get to France. Oh my goodness.
A thing or two to say about France.
Well, also, watching it, I don't. Am I the only person that thought this? But why do people in music videos wear watches?
Interesting.
Why does he have a watch on his wrist? Is it to make it look more normal, like more natural, like he's just walked off the street? But I don't know, I got that in my head and then I couldn't stop staring at his watch and wondering why they put him in a watch.
Could you see the time, or was it just like...
No, it's just a big chunky watch. Why have you got a watch on though? Why do you need to wear a watch?
They're stylish, aren't they?
No.
Fashionable.
No.
Fashion.
To be honest, I can't remember the song. I didn't like it.
No, it's not going to qualify.
No.
Sorry, Estonia. Bye. So we're moving on to Greece with Stefania and the song Supergirl. So 17-year-old Stefania Liberakakis is also just simply known as Stefania. She's a Greek-Dutch singer, actress, and YouTuber. Now, last year we did have a few of those, and as far as I'm aware, they didn't really do very well. And I think there is that issue, we talked about it before, of people having a lot of fans in their countries, but they're not necessarily translating to Europe-wide, and them not being fans because of their music, but just being fans because of them. She released her first solo single less than 2 years ago in 2018, but she also acts. She's acted in 3 Dutch movies and acts as the lead in a well-known teenage series, Broekklaas. Do you want to have a listen?
Oh, yes.
I'm your supergirl, supergirl. In this crazy world, crazy supergirl. I'm your supergirl, I'm your supergirl, supergirl. In this crazy world, crazy world. I'm your supergirl, supergirl. Fighting from my heart. I'm your supergirl.
That was Stefania with the song Supergirl. Now, you may think a song titled Supergirl is sort of, going to pander to the women empowerment movement. But Stefania, in this song, has taken the very literal term Supergirl and seems to have written a song about what it would be like to be a superwoman character whilst trying to keep her identity secret, which culminates in her levitating off the ground to get a cat out of a tree whilst the crowd films her on their phones. So it feels to me like an extended audition to be like the next young adult book adaptation star. But, each to their own. Isabel, you seem to be enjoying that one.
Oh, I love this one so much. They have really tried to do a Netta. Like you said, they've tried to do some sort of empowering women's song. Except they've done it with an extremely conventionally attractive woman, which already I'm bored. Okay, do not try and make me think that you are ever the outsider in anything. No. The video is laugh out loud funny throughout. I watched it 4 times in a row earlier today and laughed out loud every single goddamn time. There are so many. There is just comedy gold. It's like an SNL show. It's incredible.
Really is.
She is insanely attractive. Has to hide that she's a superhero, but everyone knows she's a superhero. And then there's a bit in the park that says no superheroes. What? Why does no one like superheroes? And you're the only one by the looks of it. There's no other superhero shown. And then the bit where she has to prove her, she has to push through her embarrassment of everyone filming her do her superhero stuff, and the big reveal of it being a kitten in a tree. Oh, I screamed the first time I saw it.
They reveal that so well.
It was incredible. It is a absolute dog shit song. It is terrible and would definitely not qualify for the finals. But oh my God, it's brought me so much joy. It really has.
This is the why you watch the semi-finals, everyone.
This is why. I would not have laughed so hard today if I had not seen that video.
Yes. Well, perhaps, Isabel, you will be pleased to hear that she will be returning in 2021.
Yes!
So let's hope she has the same creative team on board to write another, like, very literal interpretation of a metaphor.
It just makes no sense.
She's Greece failed to qualify in 2016 and 2018. I feel like it's like every other year they're not qualifying, and this is definitely that year.
Oh, yeah.
Although it may be pushed out as it's going to be moved to 2021. So bless them, but it's not qualifying. Okay, Isabel, we are moving on to song 5 of the competition, and that is Iceland and Daddy or Gangnamid, or just Daddy Freyr because it's easier to say, with the song Think About Things. What can we say about Daddy that hasn't already been said? We obviously had our first dalliance with Daddy Freyr back in 2017 when he entered the Icelandic national final with the wonderful song Is This Love. He came second but secured a place in many of our hearts. This time around he's entered with the song Think About Things, which is a song about his newborn baby and how excited he is about him growing up and being able to talk to him. Well, the song is a real family affair. He's got his wife on the keyboard, his 2 sisters providing backing vocals, and he even borrowed a vintage microphone from his father to help get the perfect sound. I'm gonna read you the last line of his bio on the Eurovision website because it's just lovely. It says, "The family-based performance self-consciously plays within Eurovision rules. Instruments cannot be plugged in on stage, while offering something jubilant and gently triumphant. Humbly focused on the music, Daddy Freyr ends the song as he begins, surrounded by his family, reaching out to Europe."
Oh,
it's lovely.
Very nice. Very soppy.
So let's have a listen to Think About Things.
You can tell me anything and I'll listen. I might even know what to say. But either way, at least I'll be. Hey, baby, I can't wait to know. What do you think about things? Believe it, I will always be there, so you can tell me.
Right, that was the lovely Daddy Freyr there with Think About Things. Isabel, what do you think about these things?
Oh, he's just lovely, isn't he? He's so lovely. And like you said, me and Roland are those insufferable people that every time, you know, he got brought up in the last 6 months, we're like, well, we really liked him back in 2017 with Is This Love? We've known of him for years. Iceland are always a country I look forward to seeing at the contest because they're not afraid to do something different. Now, that doesn't always mean that they put forward something good. And actually, they've very rarely done well at the contest. I think in my mind, when I think about like countries, if someone said what countries do well at Eurovision all the time, you'd be like, yeah, Sweden. But actually, Iceland don't very often do well in the contest, but they put forward something a bit different from time to time, which is always good. They came 10th last year with Hatari, but they've actually failed to qualify for the finals the previous 4 years. And the last time they did very well was 2009 with Johanna and Is It True, which when you watch it now, somehow came second. Somehow came second. I have no idea.
Some of those late noughties, early
Jesus.
teens ones are are a
Must have been an unimpressive year. But I'm so glad that this adorable group were finally selected for Eurovision. You know, I think they should have been the entry a few years ago, because Paper that was put through that year was terrible song. It was awful.
Which Daddy actually did do a remix of that song and made it infinitely better.
Of course
so
he
anything
did.
he touches
This is a
is
very
really
talented individual. But this is fun.
Absolutely.
It's silly, but it's still a good song. It has humor, but he has a gorgeous voice. This would, I mean, I'm not going to ruin my final list, but this would have been in top 5. I mean, there is no way this would not have been in the top 5 of the contest. potentially a contender for winner. I'm very, very sad that this got cancelled this year, because this could have been Iceland's year. And I don't know. Do you know if they're going to be back next year, if they're going to represent them?
Well, so he has said, so currently there has been no confirmation that he has been invited back as Iceland's entry in 2021. So he himself has said that if they held a national final, like they were, he wouldn't take part. But what I would love to see, and I think other people would, because people have obviously really taken to him, is to do what some other countries sometimes do and give Daddy 5 or 6 songs to perform, which then the Icelandic public choose from.
Yeah.
He's a fairly prolific songwriter, song creator, so I don't think it will be a problem for him in the next year to come up with 5 songs. And I think that would be a fair way of still having the song contest, because the Icelandic people do like their songvakeppnin, or however they pronounce it. And I think that would be great. And plus then we get 5 new Daddy Freyr songs, which would be lovely.
That would be lovely. Yeah, I'd be up for that. That'd be good.
But there hasn't been any announcement yet, so it would be tragic if Daddy Freyr doesn't make it.
This could have been their year.
Yeah, but I agree with you. This is definitely qualifying, and this is definitely in my top 5. Well done, Daddy Freyr. We are moving on to Moldova with the artist Natalie Gordienko and the song Prison. Now, Natalie is no stranger to Eurovision. She took part representing Moldova all the way back in 2006. She doesn't look old enough to have done that, but she sung... Yeah, 2006. I checked the date. She was born in 1987, so she would have been 19 on that attempt. But she looks very young right now. I don't know what her skincare routine is, but she's doing very well. So she sung alongside Arsenium and Connect R back then with the song Loca. So she's back nearly 14 years later. In fact, 14 years later. Isabel, what are your thoughts?
It's the only song I didn't get the whole way through. I normally try to be good and even, not be a brat about it. And even if I don't like a song, I'm like, no, listen to the whole thing. You can't, how are you supposed to judge it if you haven't listened to the whole thing? I just couldn't. It was so boring. It's so dull. And I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere.
And especially after Daddy and Benny Cristo, like, I think... last year we talked about how there were like maybe 2 or 3 like really contemporary songs, like more contemporary than are in like the top 40 charts or whatever, songs that sound like they're actually, doing things with music that are unusual. And I think that gap is even more stark this year because there are more songs that are pushing that envelope. And so when you get a song like this that maybe 5-10 years ago would have been, really good and people would have liked it and it would have been, made it to the final. I think they just seem even more dated.
Yeah.
And so I think this isn't qualifying.
No, not qualifying at all. No way.
Yeah. Sorry. All right, let's move on. We are going to Poland and Alicia with Empires. Now, Alicia is just 17 years old and she won the Voice of Poland in 2019, last year. Her song this year is all about how we treat planet Earth and life itself. She says, people tend to build empires and they become blind to what is important. They become obsessed and it provides them to distraction. But there is hope because we rise and fall. It's the circle of life. But the question remains, why? Why do we have to repeat the same scenario all the time? We build and destroy. Maybe we should learn. It sounds like something a 17-year-old would think of.
Yeah.
Isabel, what do you think of Poland with the song Empires?
I think it's one of the better ones of the ballads this year, but
yes,
I'm still not interested in it. I couldn't hum you a note of it right now.
True, but do you not think that
it'll
sometimes ballads get through?
It'll get through. I think it's green on my sheet. It's going to get through the semis, but it is not going to rank highly in the finals on the night. I think it will be forgotten about. Like you said, in the contrast between this and, say, Cleopatra from Semi 1. Oh my God, or even just the song right before this one in the semi-finals, Iceland, to go from Iceland to Poland. This
Or there's
will
Moldova in
get-
between, but you forgot about that.
Oh my God. Thank God I did forget about them. It'll just get lost in the noise and the fun of the bigger entries. Or it would have, because we don't have a
You
Eurovision
would
this
have.
year.
I know. Yeah, I agree. It's a little Bondy. It's not quite as Bondy as the other one from last week, but it will qualify. In her bio, it says she's very influenced by R&B and soul, and she does actually have a really good voice. But I think she's coming back next year. And I think she should maybe do something more in line with like an R&B soul-y number rather than this fairly like, paint by numbers.
Oh God, yeah. If she comes back with another ballad, I'll be very disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Well, there we go. I've got it in final at 18th place. Kind of, not really making a mark on the leaderboard there.
Yeah.
We are moving on to one of our favourites, just because they try so hard. It is San Marino.
Yes.
And just a couple of letters away from last year's entry, it is not Serhat, it's Senhit with the song Freaky. Now, San Marino have maybe quite smartly looked beyond their borders this year, as they have selected Italian singer Senhit to represent them. Senhit has a largely musical theatre background. She's had lead roles in The Lion King in Germany, Hair in Switzerland, Fame in Italy, and she herself has actually represented San Marino before.
Of course she has. They all have. No one is
But
new
she doesn't even
ever.
live there. So she finished 16th out of 19 in the semi-final and failed to qualify. We are going to listen to Freaky by San Marino.
Completely. Some people think our love is freaky, freaky, freaky. They say we cray, it must be faking. But you and I, we like it freaky, freaky, freaky. Drinks on rooftops and kiss in the dark. Dance around late at night in the park. Sparkle it up, dress in the colors. 'Cause life is good when we freaky, freaky, freaky. So when you touch me.
That's plenty. Come on.
Sorry. It's like hypnotic. I did say that like the music video, it makes me feel like I'm having a stroke, that music video. I was slightly hungover this morning when I was writing up my reviews, and that one honestly just compounded my headache even more. It's that's a rough music video. But what do you think, Isabel, of Freaky?
San Marino, loves of my life, the greatest nation in the world. San Marino have qualified twice before in their Eurovision history. We talk about San Marino a lot on this podcast, and even if you hadn't, you didn't think you were a Eurovision buff, but you watched Eurovision every year because it's fun, you know that San Marino are the country they're never going to get through. But they have qualified once with Valentina, and they've qualified once with Serhat. They're normal to go-to people that they sing on their songs. And you know what? I think this would have been Senhit's turn. I think this would have been Senhit's turn to make it 3 times qualifying for the finals. This is the best song San Marino have ever put forwards.
I agree with you on that.
It's good. I'm glad because it really is. I'm not saying it is the best song, but it's the best song that San Marino have ever put forwards. And God bless that country, because they love disco. They clearly love disco. Year in, year out, they are giving us some disco beats, and I am living for it.
I just imagine they're in a constant disco in that country. If you visit, it's like, welcome to San Marino. Come join the party.
You know what? Post-lockdown, San Marino is the first place I'm going to visit. Because you've got to start living your life again. And I've always wanted to go, and I've never been. And I'm going to go to San Marino.
You've got to live your life again, mate.
You do have to live your life again. I want to hear those disco beats. I bet if I went, I would meet Valentina. I would meet Serhat.
I bet you would. Serhat and Senhit.
You'd meet all the big singers there, just in the local coffee shop.
Freaky.
I love it.
I want this to qualify so badly. And I agree with you. This is the best song, production-wise and writing-wise, that they have
And the
ever
least mad.
entered.
Not just, it's the best quality, but also the least mad, which is I mean, that's kind of a wondrous thing for San Marino to put forward. Something that isn't completely bonkers.
But, right, of your two examples that you just used, Serhat last year got in on the novelty of his song, right? His deep voice, his bald head,
Na, na,
the
na.
cheesiness of his song. Right, exactly. There's no way that song was as good on a pure, like, technical level than this song. But I think that's why it got in. And I think by upping the production value a certain amount, they have reduced their chances of getting into the final.
No,
the novelty
boo.
isn't quite there. I love it. I said I love the song, but I think that it's just not going to have the movement behind it that Serhat did. It's not great. I mean,
No, of course it's not great. It's San Marino. You can't ask for great from San Marino. We ask for this. We ask for San Marino year in, year out. That's what we want them to bring forward. And they have. They've brought it in the highest production quality they can muster this year.
They can.
But it is still pure San Marino. And I am just, in my soul, Roland, I know that one goddamn year, they will pull an Estonia in 2001 and they will goddamn win it with a song that does not deserve to win it, but they deserve it just through grit and muster alone. You know, they will confuse us enough with the disco beats that the whole world will give them that crown. They deserve miscongeniality every year.
A broken clock is right twice a day, and disco will come back, and then they will win.
I am rooting for you, San Marino. If you want to make me a citizen, I will put myself forward. I can't sing. I can't dance. I was lying earlier about being a quadruple threat. I can do very little.
You're now a double threat, but you don't know what the other two are.
But I can find that talent. I'm a talent seeker.
And you've got an appreciation for disco, and that's what counts.
And an appreciation for San Marino. And that's what really counts. No one loves San Marino more than I do.
I would love them to get in the final. I have put them down as non-qualifying, and I can't change it now. I can't change it now. But we love you, San Marino. Keep on trying. Don't ever give up, please. It would be a disaster
you
if you
would
did.
have got through. Send hit, San Marino. Call me.
She's the one that's trying to get the citizenship. Okay, let's move on. We're going to Serbia and the band Hurricane with the song Hasta la Vista. Now, we have our Fuego-alike entry of the year. I do feel like that song had such an impact that we're going to have Fuego-alikes for many years to come. And I think they even stole one of her dance moves during the live performance. But that's not saying anything bad about these women, because all three of them are currently university students studying digital marketing, economics and business economy, and philology in the Department of Oriental Languages, Literatures and Cultures. So they are I think it's like language or like foreign
Because the first
places.
two, like, you can make that sound fancy. The first two are bullshit degrees. You can do them at Man Met and not get a good job afterwards, okay? The first two are the sort of degrees that I would have done if I went to university. Only the third one am I impressed by.
All right, okay. Well, you know, there's at least one brainy lady in the group, but, you know, they're studying at least. So one of the singers, Ksenia Nevic, was a backing singer at Eurovision in 2015 for the Montenegrin entry, which was that year represented by her father. And it was one of only 2 times that Montenegro has ever qualified for the final, and they finished in 13th place, which is Montenegro's best ever finish. This is Serbia, however. So, Isabel, tell me, what do you think of Hurricane's song Hasta la Vista?
So Serbia went sexy for 2020, okay? I love that it's in Serbian. It's one of only 12 non-English songs in this year's contest of 41 songs, you know? And it's I feel it's quite rare to see a girl group at Eurovision. No, that doesn't happen very often. There was the lovely, what were they called? In Lights and Shadows. The one that was that sounded like Wilson Phillips from a few years ago. I love them. Ogene.
Well, we did, Ogene, and we did have last year Sisters from Germany, which finished
I
last.
blocked them out. So
Sisters with an
bad.
exclamation mark in the eye, which was
Really
terrible.
awful. So yeah, they're going, as you said, they're going for an Eleni Fuego vibe, but they've not quite nailed it. The songs are right. The song's okay. It is not Fuego levels. And I also think that overtly sexy women, I don't think actually do very well at Eurovision unless they are so fierce that they cross all gender and sexuality spectrums, like Eleni in 2018. She was sexy camp.
Yeah.
She was sexy fierce. She was so OTT and owned that stage, and that song was so mind-blowingly good that she's an icon. She is a fierce, campy, sexy icon. These three ladies, I think, I'm afraid, are a little bit too male gazy with their look, apart from their drag queen lip fillers, which at least 2 out of the 3 of them have. Probably the 2 doing the shit degrees. Sorry.
No, I agree. Yeah, it is that weird thing of like Eleni is like almost like a work of art in her level of just like stunning, like human level beauty, and these 3 feel like they're like one for the dads, here's a bit of leg, here's a bit of boob, like
they've made a girl group for straight men. It just feels weird, which is always a very odd vibe. They've just not, I know what they were going for, but they've missed the mark with it.
I think that sums it up well, as it just misses the mark on like everything. Like their singing is just slightly off, their performance is slightly off, and the songwriting and the song itself is slightly off. So I agree with you, it will get to the final. I've got it ending in 23rd place.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which is just slightly off. All right, thanks Serbia. Bye. So we're moving on to Albania with Arilena Ara, Fall from the Sky. Arilena is a bright young thing. She's 21 right now, but she won the X Factor Albania at the age of just 14 and is currently one of the coaches on The Voice of Albania. Isabel, do you have any thoughts about Arilena's song? Fall from the Sky.
I'd put, well, it's not that it's a shit Bond song. It's more that it's like a whiny Bond song. I don't quite get it.
Okay.
I know that I'm a bit biased because I just don't like ballads. I get bored by them. I'm completely disinterested in them as a genre of song as a whole. But this did not stir any emotions inside of me.
No, this one for me, I think, was the one that was most on the border. In fact, I did change at one point and put it to qualify, but I now have it to not qualify. It's right on the edge for me. And I wrote the exact same thing. I'm like, I'm aware that not every song can be a hot guy pop song or a quirky art pop song, but this is so reliant on her live performance that I think I'm going to say this is a non-qualifier. And if she really nailed the vocals, then that might push her through, but it's just too much to rely on to guarantee a place in the final. So I am saying non-qualifier Albania, sorry. Okay, we're going to move on now. We're going to Armenia with Athena Manoukian and the song Chains on You. Athena participated in Junior Eurovision in 2007, and more recently,
she all grown up now.
In 2018, she did a guest live show appearance on the UK version of The X Factor and reached the front page of The Sun newspaper and many other major newspapers and magazines, talking about her fierce stage presence. She amazed the judges, Louis Tomlinson, Simon Cowell, Robbie Williams, and Ada Field. Let's have a listen to this one, shall we?
Don't deny my lips on fire, they scream me, boy. Let me breathe, you're all I need, and I say bye. Call my name with burning flame, I want you by. I'm yours, only yours, and of course hurt me. Chains on you. I'ma put them boy chains on you. Chains on you.
Oh, there There we go. That was Athena Manoukian. Or was it Ariana Grande in disguise trying to enter Eurovision? We just don't know. Isabel, what did you think of Chains on You?
Christ, they're going for it this year, Armenia, aren't they?
Crikey.
It's very, it's Ariana singing a Rihanna song. It's very Rihanna-esque. Got a real dirty beat. Very fierce video. Nothing like Eurovision has seen before. No other. This is not a copycat of anything else. Well, apart from a Rihanna song, but it's not a copycat of another Eurovision song. The one bit that made me laugh, I love it, by the way. I'm going to prelude this to, obviously, this song is great. I'm grinding about listening to this at home. It is a great, absolute banger of a song coming out from Armenia here. But when it goes into the chorus, there's a bit where it sounds like she says, "I'm yours, only yours, and of course herpes."
But like, having said that, like, about mishearing stuff, I feel like this is the first, maybe one of the first songs, because Benny Cristo kind of leans into it, where rap or some approximation of rap really works at Eurovision.
Yeah, normally a big no-no at Eurovision. Don't you dare try to rap.
Yeah, because they do, like, before we've tried to do like rap from New York in the 80s, which is like, my name is Roland and I'm here to say I like pop music in a major way. Whereas this is like, this is great. And if this is a sign of things to come, I am very much on board. Not just because of how sexy it all is, but it's
very
great.
sexy. The only the criticism I will give it, though, is that I don't think, regardless of what Louis Walsh thinks about her stage presence and how great she is,
Louis Tomlinson.
Oh, we were talking about the X
Walsh
Factor.
didn't have it.
Why the fuck is Louis Tomlinson on the X Factor as well?
I think
Oh my
so.
God,
I think Walsh has been dropped. Walsh wasn't in the lineup.
old. I remember the Sharon Osbourne days, mate. So, regardless of what anyone thinks about her stage presence, this song shouldn't have been given to her. I feel like this song should be sung by someone else. Like, she is very attractive and she's dancey and that's cool and she looks like Ariana Grande and is sexy. But I want this song to be sung by someone who I think can kick my ass. And there is no way this girl can kick my ass. Rihanna could kick my ass.
She might be scrappy. I don't know. Those Armenians, they can get scrappy.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, when you hear Rihanna sing "Bitch Better Have My Money," you're like, yes, you fucking better have your money.
Yeah, because otherwise she's in trouble.
Yeah, I don't believe that from Athena, I'm afraid. Great song, and she is great, but the combination of the two, I don't buy. But I feel like I'm just being a bit like Michelle Visage picky now about this. Absolutely, this would qualify for the finals. Armenia have failed to qualify for the finals for the past 2 years, and this would have 100% seen them through this year. And very, very high up the boards. Very high up the boards. But no spoilers.
Okay. I wondered for a while if this was me going with my head or my heart or somewhere else in my body, but I have also placed this song in the top 5. This is entering into the top 5. I think it's killer enough, it makes an impression, and it's different enough. We've got some real great, good variety of entries this year, and this is just yet another one.
Can you imagine? I mean, I know we get to listen to them all next week anyway, and I know I can still have a drink, but it's gonna be on my own, and I can still put on sequins, but it's gonna be on my own, and I'm still gonna be able to dance to them. I know I can do that, but oh my God, if this was in a bar and I was wasted and I would just be having the best time next Saturday, because there are loads of bangers that would have got through to the final.
Yeah,
there's enough bangers
absolutely
for it to be a fucking fun night.
Okay, let's move on. We are moving on to Bulgaria with Victoria, not the Swedish one, and the song Tears Getting Sober. Isabel, we have another European Billie Eilish, and this time, actually at the time of cancellation of Eurovision, this was actually number 1 favourite in the bookies. Now, we've already said this, things change a lot, especially, the bookies' odds were at a time when songs were just released, and so there's a lot of movement. But yeah, it was number one favorite to win the whole thing. So this had a lot of, I feel like, similar things going for it as did Duncan Lawrence's song Arcade, and it had a similar level of hype. It's a pretty conventional ballad, but it had just like enough things about it to make it different that people were excited about it without having to be like, oh, but I love a ballad. Because it was the favourite, shall we have a listen?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's worth a listen.
Inside me, I've got some space to grow. Your eyes burn like sugar in my wounds, so I have sweet bruises, and I'll forget what you have done.
All right, that was Victoria with the song Tears Getting Sober. Isabel, what do you think?
Not your standard ballad, is it? Lovely song from Bulgaria there. I think this is what we have come to expect from Bulgaria as well, who I'm going to give some props to now, because after failing to qualify for 8 out of their first 9 years in the contest, they came back with a bang in 2016 with the incredible Polygenova, If Love Was a Crime, a song that I still sing probably on a weekly basis. They then came second in 2017 with Christian Kostov, that lovely little androgynous boy, and who last year, although the song only came a very respectable 14th in comparison to their top 4 entries from the previous 2 years, put forward another great track with Bones. Like, this is... I'm really happy to see that Bulgaria are continuing to keep up this strong streak of quality songs, quality singers, quality production, something a bit different, something interesting. Very, very impressed. 100% I think it would have got through. I think it would have done well. I haven't got it in my top 5. I'm happy to say that. I don't think it would have won. I am very excited that she is going to be representing Bulgaria again next year, because I'm excited to see what she's going to bring. I'm excited to see what Bulgaria are going to bring.
I know, and I'm really impressed. Like, you know, when it's something that's as a whole and like clearly very polished piece of work, something that one of those artists that, you know, like, she had a lot of involvement in the whole process. The music video is really interesting because it's just her sat on a bench, but, you know, clearly very creative and original. Like you say, it's a ballad, but it's different enough to keep people interested. And that's, you know, if people are going to be producing ballads, which, you know, it's a genre of music and genre of popular music, which probably should have some representation in Eurovision. Like, this is the future of how they should be, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that it would have probably stayed number one in the odds, but it would have been up there. And it would have had, like, if it did eventually win, it wouldn't have surprised me. I would have probably been disappointed having 2 songs like that winning year after year. It wouldn't have surprised me, but I have this finishing 7th, just outside the top 5. Yeah. Impressive finish from Bulgaria.
Yeah, I'd say about the same. Top 10, not top 5.
Yeah, agreed. Good job, Bulgaria. Props to them. So let's go to song 13. It's Denmark with the blandly named Ben and Tan with the song. Yes.
Ben and Tan.
So,
Dick and Dom of Denmark.
Dick and Dom, yes, Denmark. Denmark are back, and is it a country-infused song? You betcha. Mm-hmm. They love some country there. As I say, though, for me, this song is about as bland as their names and the name of the song. Isabel, not that I'm preempting what you're going to say, but what do you think about Ben and Tan and the song? Yes.
I hate a male-female duet, just generally. It always sucks. The song doesn't fit the outfits that they're wearing. The audience would like the say yes, say yes, say yes bit. They don't look like they're having any fun. It's another one. Like, if a song like this, if you're going to sing a love song where it's a clearly a couple, or what you are portraying as a couple, you know, with a man and a woman singing it, I want them to be having the time of their lives for me to believe it. I want them to be really going for this. You know, like even if it goes a bit wonky, like at the end of Yodel It, where he like grabbed her face and gave her a big sloppy kiss on her cheek.
It was a bit weird.
Great. But they were having the time of their lives singing that song. They were having so much fun. These two not having fun. Also, he was born in 2002, and which made me feel sick when I read it. That made me feel like I was going to throw up.
So yeah, it was actually written by Linnea Deb, who also co-wrote the Eurovision winner Heroes. And actually listening back, you can really hear that in there. Obviously Heroes will always have a place in my heart, but probably mainly because of The Lovely Mans. But I do think that actually now the kind of sentiment that was in that song and is in this song feels pretty dated. And you know, it's that kind of like naive, upbeat pop song. And there are pop songs that can do upbeat very well, which like Benny Cristo is a good example of that. It's really upbeat, super happy, but it's not naive and overly sweet. So I think while Heroes at the time was perfect, I think if you entered it now, probably wouldn't do nearly as well.
No, you're right.
But that's fine because it was like, 5 years ago. So, yeah, I think that shows a lot in this. I think it will qualify, and I think it will... There's country fans out there for some reason, so I think they'll vote it up, and I think it will get to 13th place.
Oh, no. See, I put through that it would qualify. I think it will do very badly in the finals, though. It will get lost amongst the rest of the noise because their performance of it, if the performance was better, it would do better. You know, it's Denmark. They're never going to do horrendously badly, I'm sure, but it's one of those songs that on the night of the final, when it came on, about 30 seconds in, you'd be like, oh, actually I could do with going to the loo, or I'm just going to top my gin up.
Having a cigarette,
I'll be back in a minute.
or like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. And I will caveat the next, however many results with the fact that like I was putting them in a chart and I was becoming more dictated by where the gaps were than where
You've made an actual chart of where everything will be in the finals.
I've got a 26 to 1 chart of all of the places. Yeah. And maybe I'll publish that, or maybe we can put that on Twitter where I would have thought. But yeah, at this point, and especially towards the end, it was pretty much set in stone. But I used my pre-predictions on other songs to guide these. So yeah, 13th place. Maybe if I had more options, it would have been more like 17th, 18th. But there we go. All right, we are going to go to Finland now with the artist Axel and the song "Looking Back." Now, Finland have only qualified for the final once since 2014. And actually, since their win with Lordi in 2006, they have never been in the top 10 of the contest and only twice made it higher than 20th place. So actually, you know, Finland are probably one of the lowest scoring countries in Eurovision right now. Isobel, are they going to do any better with Axel and the song "Looking Back"?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No, they
Agreed.
will not. It's very strange, isn't it? Or I find it very strange that Finland have somehow never learnt anything about music from their Nordic neighbours. Never.
No, it's really
like
strange.
They're unwilling to learn anything from the countries across the borders from them. They are next to Sweden. Literally share a border with one of the greatest musical countries in the world. And yet year after year after year, they put forward really crap songs into Eurovision. Like you said, 6 non-qualifiers. Most of their qualifying entries sit between 21st and 25th. Unimpressive, forgettable. Like, you don't remember any of them. This would be one of those songs. I also couldn't stop, like, this. Oh my God, the styling was mind-blowingly bad. So he has this horrible little mustache. He has this insane, like, it's like he's dressed as... you know what? Have you seen, what's that film? Jack Black film, where it's based on a real story about a gay funeral director who murders...
Yeah, who was a murderer.
Who murders an old lady. The guy singing looks like that Jack Black character, but if he was on Star Trek.
Okay. All right.
It's a lovely voice.
So you mean, yeah.
But they have styled him horrendously, and the song is bad.
I know you hate repetitive songs, and this is maybe one of the most repetitive songs I've heard in recent years. It feels like they just got halfway through and went, oh, just repeat the chorus, do the same thing again. Yeah, it feels like the chorus was repeated 15 times. It is not good.
I kind of actually, you know what? Finland are going to be my new one that I'm actively angry about. Like, I'm actively angry about them taking part. Why do they bother? Why are they bothering to take part each year if they're going to put forward terrible songs? Or is it just that whoever is in charge at the Finnish TV station has terrible taste in music? Or is this representative of Finland? Tell us, Finnish listeners. Am I right to be angry with you as a country? Or just your broadcaster?
It's no way Norway. Is it fuck off Finland?
Fuck off Yes, it is. It is. It definitely is this year, and it has been for many years.
And you didn't even like their Lordi entry.
No, I hated Lordi. I understand why it won. Like, that one at least, I understand why it won. But I hated that song, and I hated the fact that a novelty act basically won Eurovision. I really didn't enjoy that. But apart from Lordi, name me any Finnish entry ever, Roland.
No.
You can't,
no,
can
I
you?
won't.
Because you can't.
No,
I couldn't name any of them because none of them are memorable. They put forward terrible songs year in, year out. And I feel very sorry for this boy. I'm sure he's very nice, but shave off that moustache and change those clothes.
And change your name. I don't like Axel. Anyway, anyway, we're moving on to, this is interesting, so to Georgia and Torinike Kipiani with a song, Take Me As I Am. Angry Georgia are back, and Jesus, are they coming in hard?
Yeah,
we are going to listen
nation.
to this. We are going to listen to this song. Here we go.
How do you want me to talk like an Englishman? Where do you want me to dress like an Italian? Now do you want me to dance like a Spanish guy? Ah, yes, you don't love me. No, you don't love me.
Okay, all right. That is Torinike Kipiani with Take Me As I Am, which I've only just realised, bizarrely, he loses his hair halfway through that song.
Oh my God, it's so confusing the first time you watch the video. I thought it was two different people. I thought it was different
that's
band
what I
members.
thought.
And then it took me till later in the video to realise, oh no, it's just that some scenes he has a beard and some scenes he has no beard.
And hair as well. Like, he goes completely bald, completely beardless, and then he has hair on top of his head and a beard. What
You've got to
happened?
keep consistency, otherwise it confuses
Continuity,
people.
yeah,
It's like making
yeah.
a podcast. One of the things Roland first told me, never have too many voices. And if
get
you have to have
confused.
many voices, they have to sound different because it confuses
Yeah.
people. It's like whenever I listen to any Australian podcast, exhausting to work out who is talking at any one time.
Unless he is going to do similar to what that massive homophobe did, and on stage halfway through shave off his hair and his beard, in which case I'm all on board. Not really with the messaging of the song, but the performance at the very least.
Such an odd song. He's gone down, you know what he's done? He's gone down your previously used route.
Right.
Of including many country names
Just
in the song
naming
to try and
countries.
do.
Because they'll listen to it and be like, oh yeah, Englishmen talk great. Oh yeah, Italian
He
men
said
dress
Italian.
great. Oh,
That's me. I'm Italian and I'm going to vote for it. It's very odd, but I do like Angry Georgia. I like it when Georgia get mad.
I know you do, which is weird. I don't know. So
It's weird.
It is weird. So he's tried to enter Eurovision in 2017, and it's worth noting just because of the contrast between the title and the genre of the song. So he tried to enter an industrial techno song titled "You Are My Sunshine,"
No, what?
Which makes me think, because he is coming back next year, so I'm wondering maybe he'll enter like a death metal song entitled Pretty Little Flowers or something like that.
Fun. Well, I'm excited for what is going to come in 2021. Categorically, this would not have got through the semis, okay? I'm not
No, it
deluded.
wouldn't.
There is no way. But another one that watching for the first time just fills my heart with joy at how mad it was.
It just feels like he's yelling like 3 inches from your face that he loves you.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
Yes.
guy, okay. Yeah, I felt uncomfortable watching it. It's not qualifying. But, you know, good on him, I guess. Georgia, they're so angry.
So angry.
All right, let's move on. So we're moving on to song 16. It's Latvia and Samantha Tina with the song Still Breathing. Now, Samantha Tina has been trying to enter Eurovision for a very long time. She's tried 6 times in total for Latvia and twice for her second home country, Lithuania, being denied in all previous attempts. And so it feels very tragic that the one time she makes it through, a global pandemic thwarts her at the final hurdle. The lyrics to this song were written by Aminata, who previously
Love
represented
Injected.
Eurovision with Love
That
Injected.
song. Oh.
This is a song, and I quote, about female empowerment, and it's an ode to women who are held to unrealistically high standards. They're meant to be beautiful at all times while also being perfect mothers and devoted wives, all while working to chase their dreams. A message we can all get behind. Isabel, what do you think of Samantha Tina's Still Breathing?
It's another attempt at a camp sexy video, which again just misses the mark for me. I think, in fact, the whole song does. So if you were... In theory, I should love this, okay? So if I'd never seen this, never heard this, and you were to come to me and verbally explain to me the song and the video, I'd be like, yeah, Latvia, nice, written by Aminata, amazing, I'm on board. And then show me a picture of Samantha, I'd be like, yes, amazing, queen, great, love it. In practice, though, it's just not, I found it very confusing. I don't know. It's just not good. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy any of it. I understand what it's trying to do, but I didn't enjoy any of it. I didn't have any fun with the song.
I wrote down that it feels like they put all of Lady Gaga's music videos into an AI, which then created this song.
Yeah.
Because the music video itself is like, it feels like art pop, but then it, like, they throw in footage which feels like it's like a Dove commercial or like a body empowerment thing which has nothing to do with the rest of the video.
Again, if you're gonna like having insanely conventionally attractive women as your act that is going to putting forward some message about unrealistic beauty standards. Samantha, I have seen old photos of you. You also have lip fillers, okay? Babes, you've had surgery and that is completely okay and fine. But don't have someone that has very, very clearly had fillers and Botox to sing a song about unrealistic beauty standards, okay? Like, that's just not...
I wrote here the question, Isabel, as a woman, do you feel like this is a little pandery?
Oh my God, 100%. The bit of her when she stood around with like curvy women in their underwear and then she shoved some chocolate cake in her face.
Oh no!
Mate.
She definitely spat it out like immediately when they called cut.
I was just very
well.
disappointed. Like I said, in theory, I should love this. In practice, it is terribly executed.
I think it will qualify.
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
No.
No, I think this will qualify and I think this will get to 14th place.
No, I've got would not even qualify. I think the audience would be as confused as I am.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a woman of the people.
Interesting. I don't know. Again, we've got near the end, and I don't know how our maths have done, but I'm assuming we're working out. All right, so we're going to move on to the penultimate song of the night, and it is Portugal with the artist Elisa and the song Medo de Sentir. Isabel, I've not written much, so let's hope you've written something.
I just wrote Yawn Fest.
Yeah, Portugal are like, they have moments of brilliance in amongst a lot of dross. And we have... Yeah, this one is, again, it's gone back to dross. So I'm just looking forward to them entering something brilliant again in the next 2 years, probably.
Crossed.
So come on, Portugal. It's highs and lows with you guys, and we're waiting for the high. So come in. It doesn't qualify.
No, it would not qualify.
Okay, so we're going to move to the last song of the night. Switzerland with the artist Gion's Tears and the song Répondez-moi. Pretty similar to Respondez s'il vous plaît, but we'll let them have that one. So before the show was cancelled, Gion's Tears was third in the odds. Now, again, this is one that's right up there. That is a big sound-alike of last year's winner, Arcade. And it seemed to have the similar momentum as well. Gion himself does seem a little... intolerable. In his bio in his bio it says,
I love it when you're a bitch.
in his bio it says, Gion has a deep admiration for cinema, is passionate about theatre, and loves to draw inspiration from museums and art galleries. Old objects also arouse his interest because as a child
Does that just means he likes like an older woman?
Old objects arouse
Loves a
his...
silver pot.
You can't call them objects. That's terrible.
I didn't. They did. That's
No, I know
blame the
they
Swiss,
did, yeah.
not me.
Because as a... Well, now you've made this next line sound really terrible. Because as a child, he visited flea markets with his father. Let's hope that doesn't mean anything else. We should probably listen to this song. Should we listen to this song?
Yeah, we probably should.
It kind of tells what we're thinking about this song when we're like, I suppose we should.
Suppose we should listen
Do
to
we
the
need-
song.
do we need
Probably
to?
would do quite well. No, we should because it would do very well.
All right, okay, yeah, let's...
Grandira sans été, grandira sans été. Je t'appelle en gauche, répondez-moi. Oh, pas de langue départ, répondez-moi. Oh,
All right, that was Gion's Tears, and there were a lot of them with the song Répondez-moi. Isabel, what do you think of Gion and his tears?
So, this is one of those songs that, similar to Dunks from last year from the Netherlands, I personally have absolutely no interest in, but for some reason everyone else loves it, and I will never understand it. It's one of, like, I understand why people like ballads. I understand why people like music that I don't like. I'm not a complete brat, although I sound it sometimes. I have no understanding how anyone with an ounce of personality can find a song like this enjoyable. I just find it so tedious. He is going to represent Switzerland next year, which I am completely unenthused by. But I think this would have done very well in the contest. Even though I just think it's
You
terrible.
hate it. No, I agree. I think it'll do very well as well. And again, we're not going to give away our answers until the very end, but I think that this will do very well, but I don't think it will do as well as Duncan Lawrence's song last year, because of the fact that the last 4 years we've had these or the last 3 years, let's say, we've had these real swings going from Salvador Sobral to Netta to Duncan Lawrence, and I feel like people will tend to move away. They'll enjoy a song that is similar to the last year's winner, but not to the point that they will win twice in a row. And it's something that, it's 3 years in a row that might be proven not correct as a trend. But I do think that there are other songs that have more chance of winning that are a lot more different to last year's winner. So I think this is obviously an obvious qualifier and a top 5 finisher for me.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, but we don't want it to win. All right, Isabel, that is...
It cannot win. It cannot win the contest. That's something to celebrate, actually. Switzerland
to celebrate.
cannot win Eurovision 2020 with this goddamn awful song.
John's tears. Okay. All right, well, so that is the last song of the second semi-final. So by this point in the evening, we would know all of the finalists for Eurovision 2020, which tragically isn't happening. But we do have 3 more songs to go through. And it's interesting how we have 3 of the big 5 left. And I just happen to have 3 bottom slots open on my charts. So, and again, this is kind of left over to what was left over, but I'm going to trust my judgment on previous entries and run with that. So the first one we're going to go with is France with Tom Lieb and the song The Best in Me. Isabel, you were talking earlier about how you can't just rely on a pretty man to win.
Don't rely on that body, oddy. Nuh-uh.
So, does this apply to France in this case?
God, France are so bad at Eurovision. Every year, they, along with the UK, you know, I'm absolutely not a UK apologist when it comes to Eurovision, but France, alongside with the UK, are a very strong argument for not having a big 5 who skip the semis. Because this song, along with most of their other entries, would never make it through the semi-finals. They do okay every year, actually. They don't do horrendously badly in the finals. They do okay because they're France, I'm guessing. But this would have been low on the final scoreboard this year. I think this would have been one of France's lowest positioned entries in a long time. And if they'd have had to compete in the semi-finals, there is no way this song would get through. It is awful.
Yeah, I have... I wrote, 5 words? I said, very good looking, incredibly bland. And if we have an award, because I've done this full list, I have an award for last place. And that, this year, does not go to the United Kingdom.
Yes!
It goes to France, who gets last place. So the wooden spoon, all of the whatever comes with it, goes to Tom Lieb and the song The Best in Me.
I think that deserves to be in last place. It's a terrible song.
I agree. Try harder, France, and just, I don't know, you're on mainland Europe. Just do better. There's lots of inspiration. At least the United Kingdom has the excuse of being on an island. It's not an excuse, but it's something.
No excuse.
Okay, the second of the big 5+1 that we are talking about this episode is Spain, with the entry, the artist Blas Canto and the song Universo. Isabel, what do you think about this guy? I didn't write any information about him.
I put very little. I put that it's a stronger entry for Eurovision. It's a stronger entry for Spain this year, but I still wouldn't add it to my Eurovision playlist.
No. Yeah, it's kind of, it's verging on the ones that I actually quite like, where they're a little dancey, kind of ballady, but it doesn't go enough.
Hard enough. No.
And it could have a real dancey beat. And this is probably the one of the 3 that I'm a bit like, it was the last spot that I had available on my chart, and maybe it could have finished higher if I had more time.
Yeah.
I've put it finishing 24th place, and I feel like potentially actually could have ended there because they are Spain and the Big 5, and the Big 5 tend to not do well unless they have a really standout song. So I think maybe if I had more choice, it might have finished maximum 19th place, and really, like, what's the difference between 24th and 19th?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
But I'm predicting it finishing 24th.
It wouldn't have done very well, no.
No. And lastly, it is the United Kingdom with James Newman and the song My Last Breath. It's John Newman's less famous brother James, everyone, with the song My Last Breath. It's the UK, and it's the last song, so I feel like we should have a listen to it. Shall we have a listen?
Bloody hell, go on then.
It's all good in the good times, but I'll still be there when it all goes wrong. Yes, I will. If we were deep
All right, that was what was it? James. It was James Newman
was
with
James.
My Last Breath. Well, we've spoken about this entry quite a lot in our big preview episode at the start of the season, but a lot's changed since then, and actually in the context of listening to all of the other songs, it changes our opinion of it. So, Isabel, what do you think of this song now?
It's still fine. It's still fine. It's better production quality than we've put in a very long time. It is the road to, hopefully, much better entries in the future. But it is still a very underwhelming song. It's nothing to win. We can't put forward songs like this and then kick up a stink and go, but we still haven't won Eurovision. Who gives a shit? Like, loads of countries haven't won Eurovision. San Marino have never won Eurovision. They don't complain, okay? Just keep going, keep trying, and keep putting forward better songs. This is a better song for us. It is not a great song from us, though. It would have done all right. It would have done okay. It would not have been... I mean, it would still be on the right-hand side of the board. It wouldn't have come last.
I agree. I put this song 25th place, which is second to last. And actually,
I think maybe it would sit closer to 20th.
Maybe.
That's me saying it wouldn't have done bad. That's in a UK context, I mean, not in a Eurovision context. I mean, it wouldn't have done badly for the UK.
For the UK, yeah, no, absolutely. No, and I think, like, it would have been off of the bottom on its own merit. Like, as Tom Leeb's song "The Best in Me" is bad, really bad, and regardless of that, I think that this song wouldn't have been the lowest scoring entry. And again, that doesn't mean that it's also, even if you're on the bottom, it doesn't mean that it's the worst song. Like, on a technical level, probably last year's entry was better than San Marino's entry, but it didn't get the votes, and that's a different thing. So I think that this wouldn't be bottom on its own merit. And like you say, we're moving in the right direction strategically and stylistically.
Yes.
It just feels like it needs to get there faster.
Exactly.
And maybe this little break that we've had might make us speed that process
Got
along.
some time to think about our bad behaviour and what we've done and focus a little bit more.
Okay, Isabel. So that's it. That is all of the songs. We have listened to all of the songs that would have been in Eurovision. And that means that we've also listened to the song that would have won Eurovision this year.
Oh God,
and
I still don't
judged
know
them
what
all.
to say. I'm still nervous about my top 5.
I genuinely, when I got to the end of judging the last song, I genuinely got a little bit emotional. I do every year when either at the end of Eurovision or I think after the second semi-final where I'm like, that's it, this is the Eurovision lineup for this year. This is what is representing Eurovision. And I got a little, I don't know, I just got a little excited when I had my final lineup all down on paper. It was very exciting. And for, as we say, all of the entries that are coming back next year, all of the entries that aren't coming back next year, it's so lovely to see everyone entering all of their songs and all the countries either trying or not. So it's going to be exciting next year. I think it'll be all the more exciting because we've had a year off, and all the better for it as well. But we have the small task to do of supposedly declaring the winner, although I don't know. We've been so different this year.
Really different.
That maybe we will be torn on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm still genuinely torn as well, but we're going to go through our top 5s from 5 to 1. And I think we should probably do... you'll say your 5, I'll say my 5, you say your 4, I'll say my 4, so that we can reveal our 1s at the same time. Do you need a second?
No, I've put them down. I still don't feel confident in what I've put.
Yeah.
But I have. It's the best I'm going to get to, I think.
So what I am going to say is not what I have down on my page.
So you know what? While you've given you a minute to think about it, so when I was texting our friend Stephen Cass, Eurovision rookie, he was saying that he thought Switzerland would win, and his reasoning was that Russia, Lithuania, and Iceland would have all kind of cancelled each other out as two big songs. Lithuania being one that I didn't even put through the semi-finals. That was one of the first ones that we disagreed on, is that I thought that was going to be a Portugal 2019 and have everyone raving about it and then go nowhere. But my reasoning as well for not agreeing with our dear friend Stephen is that Switzerland is too close to last year's winning song. And I have done my research, okay? I've got receipts to back up what I'm about to say. It is rare that two similar songs win 2 years in a row, okay? So if you go back over the last 10 years in Eurovision, 2010, Lena, Satellites, Slow Twee Pop. 2011, Elle and Nikki, oh my God, that song, Running Scared. That was a pop ballad. 2012, we had Loreen with full-on dance track in fact, I wrote Europhoria. Euphoria. 2013, Emily DeForest, Only Teardrops. Now we've moved to folky pop music. Again, completely different. Conchita Verse the next year. Operatic Bond song power ballad. Year after that, Mans, Heroes, dance pop now, completely different from Conchita. Then the next year, Jamala 1944. I don't even know what genre that song is, but it is not Mans, and it is not what followed the year after, which was Salvador with that gorgeous jazzy love song. After Salvador, we went for ultimate pop banger, Toys by Netta, followed by Duncan in the Netherlands with the dullest song of all time in 2019.
Yeah.
It's rare that you even see the same gender win 2 years in a row, let alone the same genre of song. So to have Duncan last year followed up by a very similar song by another solo male artist this year, I think, no. People want a change. Year in, year out, there is clearly a need for something new to rise to the top of the charts at Eurovision.
I agree. So in that case, Isabel, I've decided whilst you were making your case, I have worked out what I am doing. So we are going to start with who we think is finishing in 5th place. Isabel, would you like to go first, or shall I?
I'm nervous.
So finishing in 5th place this year in 2020 is Russia with Little Big.
Oh, okay.
Isabel,
okay.
Who do you have finishing in 5th place?
So this is the one I felt very nervous about, but I think I'm right. So for 5th place, I have Germany with Violent Thing. Not my favourite song. Nowhere near my favourite song. I actually didn't like it very much. But I think it would do very well. I think it would be one of those forgettable top 5s.
Yeah. I had that in 11th place, but I did very much enjoy the song. I probably restrained myself from putting it higher.
Okay.
But good for you. All right, we're going to do 4th place. Maybe I'll add some tension music that they add
I'm going to go.
underneath
I'll go first with 4th.
All right, you'll go now. Okay.
Because for 4th, I have Russia, Little Big with Uno in at 4th place. So very close, top 5.
Okay.
I don't think it would be so popular with the judges. I think it would get very high on the public's votes. But definitely a top 5 entry.
In 4th place on my chart is Armenia with the artist Athena Manoukian with the song Chains on You.
Okay.
That sexy banger from Armenia there. That's 4th place. Now, 3rd place. We are in the top 3. Getting bronze position from me is the Czech Republic with Benny Christo and the song Ke Mama, which did not qualify for you, but for me is a 3rd place song.
That's wild. Okay.
I love that song. That's a great
different
song.
So in number 3 for me, we said it would do well, but it's not going to win for all those reasons I just said. Switzerland, Répondez-moi. I've got in 3rd place. Would come close, but nah, you ain't getting the title.
All right, we are going to 2nd place. Isabel, tell me, who is 2nd?
So for my 2nd place, I've bumped a little bit higher than you have, but I've got Armenia, Chains on You in 2nd place. I think You know what? I kind of flitted between Armenia and Azerbaijan as to who I thought would get top 5. Armenia is the stronger of the songs, the stronger of the powerful woman, songs from this year. But I think it would be Armenia, and I think they would do very well. So I've put them in second place.
So in second place, I have Switzerland and Gion's Tears with the song Répondez-moi. It's going to do well.
Very similar. Apart from like the very stark differences in terms of who we think would qualify and wouldn't. There's a handful of ones that we completely differ on.
Which are still songs that we're like, I like it, but
for sure,
the public won't.
For sure.
Like obviously our tastes are similar.
Yeah. But actually our top 5 very close, and I think we've got the same number 1, which I'm hoping is not me just thinking with my heart rather than my brain.
This is it. Is like I put it there, and then I was like, will it? And then I was like, fucking Russell Crowe tweeted about it. So my number 1 is Iceland and Daddy Freya with the song Think About Things.
Yes!
We love you, Daddy.
Me too. I put it 2. I flitted about. I had a top 7 that I was just like shifting around for so long. And I kept thinking, am I just putting it here because I like it, because I like the song, or do you actually think it's going to win? But then when I actually looked through who I thought the top 5 would be, although there are great songs in that top 5, I don't think there is a song in that top 5 that would pull in bigger scores. I just don't think it would happen. I don't see Switzerland beating Iceland. I don't see Armenia beating Iceland. I don't see Russia beating Iceland. I don't see either the Czech Republic or Germany, whoever are the differing ones that we have in our top 5s, beating Iceland. It's just not going to happen.
And it's a very specific. Oh, I've just set off my Alexa, so sorry if she starts talking. But it's a very specific thing, because actually, look, I could see Armenia getting higher in like the top 40 charts, right? In the Hot 100 Billboard charts or whatever. If Rihanna was singing it, Rihanna couldn't sing.
That's not Eurovision.
No, Rihanna couldn't sing Think About Things, right? So Daddy Freya had a shitload of like people talking about his entry beforehand, and he's a very interesting guy, very charismatic, very fun guy, but also musically he's really fucking talented. Like if you go back and listen to his albums,
this is what we've talked about, but you don't even have to go back and listen to his albums though. You know, as someone who just watches Eurovision, the final, once a year, that's all you know about it. This is that perfect mix of fun and kitsch and a little bit camp and silly with good, solid music behind it. Gorgeous voice, really nice song. Winner, 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 Iceland, winner.
Oh, now of those top 5, I think he might be the only one who isn't guaranteed to return, which would be absolutely tragic. So if we need to start a campaign, then let's start it. But he's got to come back, hasn't he?
Definitely does. He definitely does.
Okay, so that's it, Isabel. We've worked out the winner. That's it. Done. Decided. Should we email?
Done it. You cannot tell us
write
we
a
are
letter.
wrong, because you cannot prove us wrong, which means we are right, as we said at the beginning of last week's episode. So if you would like to tell us what you think, even if it's wrong, because it's not our thoughts,
Because it's ours, yeah.
then please do contact us. You can email us at europhoriapodcast@gmail.com
or you can tweet us at EurophoriaCast. Isabel, we're going to be back. We're going to be back next week.
Yeah, we're going to be back next week. We've got to talk about how Eurovision went. Fake Eurovision, non-Eurovision. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, good. And also I do have at least one more song in the works. So we'll at least be back for that. Okay.
Definitely be back next week.
That's it. Thank you everyone for listening, and this would have been the time where we said enjoy your Eurovision, and actually do enjoy your Eurovision, because there will be shows on. Enjoy it how you would have done, and sending our love out to you on this sad time where there's an absence of Europop, but there is something for us at least.
Absolutely. Stay safe, stay good, be good, enjoy Eurovision. We love you very much. We'll speak to you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.